Hey guys, how's it going? I've been off for a few days, so it's our first two a day. But I wanted to record this video um, before I lost the excitement about it. So um, I went to the Tycoon Festival in Atlanta, right? And it was amazing. It was amazing. Um, so at like festivals, it's like a lot of artists, and they kind of do like their halftime Super Bowl set. So they only got like 10 to 15 minutes. But the goal is when they do come back around, you can kind of make their money that way. You know what I'm saying? So they give you fire. Then they kind of compete with each other. Who can like a versus type thing. So there was a lot of people there. I probably won't name everybody, but Shanti was there. Shanti was there. She brought out Nelly. Nelly did a couple songs, and Lloyd put their song together. Ty Dolla Sign, Bryson Tiller, 112, Mario. Mario did his thing. Genuine did his thing. Uh, Tank, Monica. I don't know if I said Monica, and then Chris Brown was the headline. Right. So I seen it. Part. Keith Sweat was also there. He did a couple of songs since I don't hear. Manny Fresh. There was a couple DJs. There's a couple more people. Sorry if I missed anybody, but they probably won't even watch this video anyway. Oh, DC Young Fly was hosting. TJ Envy, Manny Fresh, Jermaine Dupri. All right, so the highlights, right, that I seen was, far as like, so first highlight, I guess would be Tank. The ladies went crazy when Tank got on stage, lost their mind, um, lost just went nuts. Um, Monica can sing like an angel. Like I thought that microphone was gonna catch on fire or break or something. She can live like there's no microphone that just can hold that power with them notes. That's the first time I seen Monica live, so um I was blown away. And she went on right before Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? So she's unbelievable as far as talent, and she got the hits. Shanta can sing, of course. Mario did his thing. Genuine always brings the energy. Um, so Chris Brown, right? Chris Brown, where I see this guy is, so he gets on. This show starts at 7:30. He gets on about 11, 11:05. Right, does an hour 10 minutes, maybe an hour 10 minutes. So like he walks up, right, drops his daughter off, his family off, right, walks on stage and just completely kills it. You know what I'm saying? And just like I'll be back in the summer, guys. Pretty much saying I'm gonna bring my full set, and gave fans hugs and just being humble. Like at the end, it was just like whoa, like that was kind of like how Michael Jackson did Motown 25. It was kind of just like a microphone and a stage, and he kind of just shut it down that way. He didn't have all the bright lights and all the everything that's like fancy and you know um it was just him and that stage, right? And the good thing of performing that way every once in a while, I believe, is because you really let everyone know how talented you are, because people can relate to that. Like people have done talent shows, and people have been on stages with a microphone, And for you to shut it down in that way, showing your talent, it's kind of like I definitely can't do that. You know what I'm saying? No way, right? But when you have like all the lights and the dancers, everything going on, you're like, man, well, if I had all that, if I have a $5 million budget show, I could do that. But just the stage and the microphone. I mean, it was a 2024 version of that. So there was a stage below, there was a stage above, and there was, you know, thing. But he didn't have. There was a couple background dancers. Everyone had a couple background dancers. But like, it was talent on talent. You know what I'm saying? So what makes Chris Brown's show so at this point is that he has like unlimited hits. Unlimited. Like, he's been in the game 20, 25 years. You know what I'm saying? He's dropping album after album after album. And his albums aren't like 10-song albums. I mean, he has songs that are like 20, 30, 40, 50 song albums. You know what I'm saying? Every year he's dropping something, right? He's never stopped dancing. He's never stopped singing. And he never stopped making hits. I think I've seen that like Billboard said he has a hit like 20 years in a row. He's hit. So when he's performing now, I've seen Chris Brown throughout the years, right? When he's performing now, never, no one can really. I wouldn't say no one, but I really can't think of anybody who can do that because a lot of artists do like the Michael Jackson style, right? Where you got 12 songs and then you maximize it. So Billie Jean that performance might last 10 minutes or 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes on to Thriller, where it might last 12 minutes. And a lot of artists kind of take that route, maximizing every song, right? Because a lot of artists don't have 100 hits, don't have 60 hits, right? That they got to fit in an hour or a 2 hour show. Like, very few artists has this many hits. So how Chris Brown is performing now, as far as in that hour, he's hit or starts off with a hit, does all the dance moves and singing, and then sings, and then turns the music off and sings without no music, right? Then that because it was an R&B night, he let the crowd know that hey, I got vocals too. I can sing with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? And he's proven that he can sing with the best of them. But he was making that very clear at this show, right? But then the thing about it is that then he goes on to the next hit, right? So so every minute and a half, it's a new hit. The crowd just continues going crazy. The energy never stops, right? Then after 30 minutes, he takes like a 5 minute break, changes outfit, and then does another 30 hits. Like, it's just ridiculous. And then he's like, he's still in his prime. He can still do backflips and front flips and dance. I don't know if we've seen an artist with this many bangers and still able to perform them. You know what I'm saying? At the highest level. And I was just like, dang, like, he's talented. Like Michael Jackson, talented for real. Um, so he at the end of the show, right? It's like, man, I'm running out of time. You know what I'm saying? These are we're gonna have to vote. So you got these hits, you know, multiple rounds of this. You got 3 hits. The crowd like, which you want to, vote for. Plus, you could barely tell. So he's like, okay, we'll have to vote again. Then we'll just pick one, and he goes right into it. Does off the, wall to wall, whatever he picked. Then he does another round, and then the crowd goes crazy. You can't tell. So he's like, I'm gonna try to fit two of them. I'm trying to fit as many hits as I can. He has a hit problem, right? He doesn't even get to do the features, right? So I start thinking like he does a lot for his community of singers and R&B and music in general because if you think of how many features he's done, right, for other artists, right, and we kind of know how the music industry works. Yeah, you have your album, but you need something on your album that's going to sell records, right? We already know about business. Business needs to make money, right? So ROI, return on investment. So Chris Brown does a lot of features for these artists to give them a hit. And then how the music business work is that you can kind of live off a hit the rest of your life. You know, these artists are performing their hits from 20, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, and still eating off that. So if he is kind of like, here's a feature, now you're kind of set for for the next 30, 40, 50 years, right? But then he doesn't even have room for those at his shows. He doesn't use, he has too many hits of his own. He doesn't even get to the features, right? So that's kind of like, this is for you. This is for you. Then he also does that at his shows. You know, he's not the type of artist that, you know, doesn't let other artists eat. You know, he always has rappers or singers, you know, opening up, making sure they're good, making sure they're eating as well, always giving new artists a shot. And then he's also not charging like $2,000, $3,000 a ticket, $1,000 a ticket. You know, he might charge $200, $150. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to get super, in my opinion, duper rich off of that. He really wants you just to enjoy the show. You know what I'm saying? And for that level of talent, it's unbelievable. And then like the artists know, like, who Chris Brown is. Like, it's undeniable when you see him live. You like, whoa. And then he's in a good place. You know, it seems like he's very humble. Like, goes on the show like, y'all ready for this? Kills it. And then just says, you know, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. You know, thanks for spending your money. Drop home safe. And I'll be back in the summer with my full set. You know what I'm saying? And then he's giving fans hugs, and then he goes back to his family and goes home. Like, he's in a good place. So that's my opinion on that. And that's my opinion of that's what this show's about, right? The positive. You know, no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. We're just going to focus on positivity, right? Also, I wanted to talk about experiences, right? So why did I go to the concert? Why did I drive to Atlanta? Why did I do that? Right? I would say it's because I used to be one of those type of people that used to grind nonstop, right? So I was working for a place that I worked full-time hours. They never would give me full-time, so I never had vacation, right? So I always had to work, and I was doing school, right? So I was giving up 40 hours a week, 35 hours a week to live in the present, right? To make sure I could afford the basics. Then I was going to school, right? To invest in my future, right? And then I've done that. Let's say I'm 25, right? Just grinding, which you got to do because life's a competition. So you got to grind. But it's so I'm 25, right? I look back at like the last like I don't know, let's say the last 3 years, right? And I don't remember anything. Like, I'm like, dang. Because when you look back of it, you don't think about working. It's something you do, right? Then you don't think about going to school. That's something that you do, right? But you think about going to that concert, right? Going, hanging out with your friends and going to Jamaica or Cancun or the movies. But it doesn't have to be things that cost. You know what I'm saying? But I look back and I didn't have anything. I was just like, just that's how I knew. Like, if you think about it, Can't take money with you, right? What can you take with you? In my opinion, you can take experiences with you. So I want to have as many experiences as I can, right? I was like, I'm not feeling this way. I'm not to me enjoying my life. I'm not grinding to the point where I look back on my year and I don't have anything to write down. So I mean, that's an exercise for everybody. You know, it's the beginning of 2024. Look at 2023. Write down what you think. Look at 2022. Write down what you think. You're not going to put down work. So make sure that you're having experiences. And I wanted to share that. That's personal towards me, but I think that'll help people. Let people know, wow, yeah, I go to that concert if I can afford it. I go to the movies. I try to do things. I try to create as many experiences as possible. So when I look back, when I grab that piece of paper and I put 2023, I can keep writing, right? I went to the movies. I went to the park. I went to the beach. I went to this concert. I went to Cancun. Went to this baseball game. Went to this basketball game, and that works with me. You know what I'm saying? I've had years when I didn't have anything, just grinding, right? And another thing I want to mention is that another trick that people fall for is that they grind, right? And then they say, well, I'll just live when I retire. I'll just live when I retire. I'll just grind my entire 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. And then when I'm 60, whatever, 65, then I'll live life, right? So you see people like that, right? You see the grinders, you see the ones that just sacrifice everything. And then they get to that point, right? If they get to that point, a lot of people don't make it. Then they're, go to their retirement party or something. And next thing you know, they're gone after like a year or two, right? Then 5 years later, 7 years later, people can't even remember you at your company. They're like, oh yeah, what was his name again? What was her name again? I can't remember. Right? So this person has given 30, 40 years of his life to a company, right? Thinking, well, I'll just live life when I retire. Doesn't work out. And then the company doesn't even remember your name in 5, 7 years, right? So when I seen that, I'm just like, man, I'm gonna try to enjoy every moment, every day, and have many experiences as I can, many memories as I can. So, all right, guys, that was personal towards me, but I hope I helped you guys. Catch you guys later. Peace.